Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome to the party. We are playing some Dungeons and Dragons tonight, specifically 3.5 edition. I am your dungeon master this evening, the Bardic Knock. Name is under my face. You can find me on various platforms such as Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube, where I sporadically put things on those platforms. Which reminds me, I still need to update all of those things. It's on my list. This list doesn't actually exist, but if I keep pretending like it does, eventually I might do something on it, like make the list. Not gonna happen. Alrighty, yeah. Before I let the other people talk, as always, give a huge thank you to our wonderful sponsors, being Tabletop Loot, Devin Rue of RueInc.com, and So Nerdware. You can learn about those. There'll be information somewhere down below. And yeah, specifically So Nerdware, they do our merch, which you can learn about if you do !merch in the chat, if the bot is working. Yeah, we'll find out. This thing will happen. So it's that. Also, welcome to party. Wonderful, amazing place. Go check out all the stuff to do with that, such as the Discord server down below, where we are always looking for people to join, be a part of the community, and all that jazz. As always, people wanting to look to get new games in the future. Coming up, there's going to be a much heavier rotation of games as well. So if you have ever wanted to learn how to stream, be on a stream, play more tabletop games with strangers over the internet, turn those strangers into friends, whatever you want to do, join in the Discord server. It's down there. That on the camera where people can see me pointing, because apparently if we point and have physical representations, it is easier for people to comprehend instead of me just saying scroll down.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Apparently, I don't know why. People are weird. Like, the things we do as human beings is just baffling, quite frankly. Other things. Welcome to the party. Hey, if you're gonna follow the Discord server, hey, you can also follow them on Twitter at Welcome Party RPG, here on Twitch at twitch.tv/, Welcome Party RPG. You can also follow here on Twitch, which is always appreciated. And if you've got some spare cash and you want to support the channel, you can donate. Well, you can subscribe here on Twitch, which is one great thing. And every month you stay subscribed, you can give a, well, I take it as a crit because I find that more amusing. But for everybody else, to make it more fair and balanced, I think they take advantage on any role for any player or game master or dungeon master or whatever. You can give that out for every month you stay subscribed. You can also donate bits. We are more than happy to take them. And if you give them to us, we will do things in return, specifically game related things. 500 bits will make small mechanical things happen, crit, max damage, yada, yada, yada. 1,000 bits will make something interesting happen. I don't know what. You suggest it, and I'll go, yeah. So, tippity tap type away in that there chat, and we can discuss things if you want to mess with the entire game, because it seemed like a fun idea and you had $10 to spare. So, do that. There's also the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/welcome to the party, where everything gets uploaded eventually if you want to catch up on everything, including the various charity streams we have done on the channel, because there's been, I don't know, there's been some of them, but everything gets there eventually, one shots, full games, everything is there. So go check that out. And finally, there is the Patreon, which the information is down below, but you can also learn about it by doing !Patreon in the chat. The whole point of the Patreon for Welcome to the Party is to get a little bit of funding to help improve the stream setup, so people, purchase artwork, get opening sequences done, get things written, get music made, all that kind of stuff. And ideally, eventually, if and or when there is enough interest/money, giving people like myself and the players and all kinds of stuff, small stipend for our time and work that goes into creating all of these things for everybody, along with, maybe even getting published modules specifically written for Welcome to Party, because we have a full community of very creative, intelligent people who like to make things. So, hey, why not pay them to make something for the community? So go check out the Patreon if that is stuff you are interested in. Alrighty. That's a lot of words I said. So, Archer, you're the first person I saw on the screen. Why don't you introduce yourself, and then we will go around in the circle.
Alrighty.
What?
My name is Archer of the Eye, and I am playing Keldor the Knoll Knight / Scout / Divine Crusader who's about to kick some butt.
Damn right he is. Right above you on my screen, I am seeing Don't Blink, Don't Blink. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, yes, I'm Don't Blink. I'll be playing Vako, the amazing sorcerer. Just sorcerer, flat sorcerer, boring sorcerer.
Everybody else
boring
has like
sorcerer.
10 titles, and then there's just Vako the Sorcerer. I think that makes him stronger in all reality.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Vako's a very quiet kind of person. He doesn't like to take any attention. He wants to stay in the background as much as possible.
Which is why you cast black tentacles from the shadows.
I mean, in all fairness, the only other sorcerer you have come across in the entire game is Notad, but does that count because he's a dragon?
No, it doesn't
Apparently.
Oh, true.
So you might literally be the sorcerer, the only one. Right across from there, I see a Rebecca. Rebecca, could you please introduce yourself?
I'm Rebecca. I'll be playing Utswa, the dwarf warlock.
Anything else?
She's crazy.
This is true.
There we go. Below Rebecca, we have Cody. Cody, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Cody, and I play Kid the Dark Horse, the former owner of a familiar. As a result of our last session, Kid is an Eldritch Knight, which is a fun combination between a fighter and a wizardy boy. Basically, picture Harry Potter if he had a sword and also was intensely depressed, and you've got who Kid is.
Harry Potter did have a sword for a very brief period of time.
Yeah,
and wasn't he intensely depressed in most of the movies?
Well, you know what? I guess that means Kid's Harry Potter. He even has a scar. Multiple, actually. Just in the wrong places.
The only difference is, some people would say Kid is their favorite character. Nobody has ever said Harry is their favorite character.
That is true.
Ow.
Well, it's true. He's terrible. I mean, most of the characters are terrible in that series of books. But anyhow, we also then have Shanna Logic.
Not so much. The movies very much so.
You're talking to a British person about Harry Potter, Archer. I think he's the authority on how people should react.
Sorry.
You might as well be J.K. Rowling at this point.
Well, if I'm J.K. Rowling, you're gay now.
Oh no! Oh God! It's happening.
The travesty. Excuse you.
Topical jokes. Shanna Logic, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi everybody, I'm Shannon and I'm gay now.
Double gay.
I will be playing the half-orc gunslinger Greg, who is also gay now.
Before they were
Before she was very heterosexual. Loved the penis. Shot it off.
You sound exactly like how Matt would sound whenever he talks about boobies.
True.
Isn't it? I mean, is it? It's just the strangest thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Starting off strong. It's good.
Good jokes. And really, really need to stop myself from not spitting violent venom towards the entire Harry Potter series, because I have a lot of it.
It's a story, and it's not a terrible one.
Anyway.
I
didn't say it was good. I said it was
yeah, I was
not
about to say
terrible.
I
It's okay,
can
Rebecca. We'll
agree.
get through this.
I can agree that it is a story that exists that I personally
Detest at every level.
do not find enjoyment from.
You know what's better than Harry Potter though? Playing Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah.
with
Segues!
friends.
Segues. Wonderful. All right. Briefest recap I can possibly give. Last time, well, group one, well, not one, because that would suggest some kind of superiority or preference. I don't know. Three Guys Dog Walking Company, that one.
Yep.
You found all your friends, who are all being tortured in various different ways. You also made friends with another person, but not really, kind of.
What?
You found Notad. You swapped Notad, who was pinned into a wall, with Sugar. Sugar got killed because someone said a nasty word to them, and then your friend, but not really, kind of, sort of, killed the person who did that by touching him on the back of the head.
Fun.
Oh, then
Lot
Notad
of
turned
instantaneous
into a
death.
dragon and like broke the tower in half, and you all got on his back and started to fly away.
Cool.
That's about it.
Uh,
Team Smash Bang, you snuck around a little bit. You walked into a room with lots and lots of people in it. Relifor charged in as an elephant and threw Utswa exactly 15 feet to where she took a big ass bite out of the dirt. Relifor got filled with approximately 20 crossbow bolts and was no longer an elephant. Greg shot a guy in the dick. His dick came off.
I'd like to think it more as his dick evaporated into like blood dust.
What? So like,
mm,
so what we're saying is Greg is Thanos.
yes, I knew you
Her
were gonna make
gun
a
is the
fucking
snap.
Thanos joke.
And specifically, Krail's dick is 50% of the entire population.
Yes, to reference really terrible movies. Yeah.
Oh, God.
This is my Harry
But it's a
Potter, you guys.
fun.
No. I get it. I 100%. But I'm slowly discovering. I think I hate everything.
That might be the case.
It might be just that we're very jaded queer people.
This also. So then after that, Flick picked a lock, and you all got on a bunch of eagles and flew off.
Mhm.
Then the eagles met up with the dragon, and you're just kind of hovering in the middle of town. What do?
I'm immediately looking to see if I can spot meat sprinkles on my owlbear.
All right. Does anybody have like a pair of binoculars or a telescope? I mean, it's an entire city, essentially.
I'm looking for where there's most chaos.
That would be a good call. Yeah, you can see a few smoke stacks. You can see areas of the city which look distressed.
I just start tapping Notad and I'm like, I'm pretty sure we're supposed to go that way to start with.
Notad is partially blind, just to let you know.
Yeah.
I nudge him in the direction, like, that way.
Flying
Yep,
a blind thing seems like a bad idea.
He's fine. As he starts flying, he crashes into the prison tower, breaks more of it, and starts heading over to find where the chaos is, over that way.
How big a dragon is Notad?
Good question.
He's a silver dragon, correct?
Yep, let me bring up my SRD, get the actual answer before I start lying.
Before, I guess while you were looking that up, as far as chaos is going, we have caused quite a bit of chaos to occur so far.
Mm-hmm.
One of these
Decent
things
amount.
one of these things would have to be the fire that was started outside the city.
Yeah.
We should be able to see that. How's that going?
I mean, you started a decent-sized fire
Mm-hmm.
in an area which was semi-dried out. Yeah, there's a small growing fire. I mean, thankfully, it's far enough away, but it's not like you're not like spreading it up to the Gladwell Forest or anything. But there's a sizable bonfire that has developed.
Okay.
Grass fires spread quick.
It does. It does.
Holy crap. Like, they're the least dangerous fires from a firefighter's perspective, but they
It
are
depends.
fast.
They're the hardest to contain. That's the problem.
Yeah,
All
they're
right.
the hardest to contain, the least dangerous, in that a lot of times you can jump over the fire line and be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, you wanted to know Notad's size, right?
Yes.
Colossal.
Good to know. I'm assuming, being
A big boy.
colossal, he could carry an owlbear if he needed.
Yeah, he big boy.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
All right.
So-
So first order of business. Which district is currently closest to us? Because I know where we sent each of our people.
Yeah.
Because Meat Sprinkles
Um,
could be anywhere, but we know precisely where the other ones are.
Okay, so you are in this central district currently. The districts are all equidistant. You are connected to each of them, to be fair.
Mhm.
I mean, if you wanted to apply some kind of logic, you'd start at one end and go to the other, but at the same time, there's also 10 eagles just flying
Yeah, we can
around
split
with you.
up
So
if
you
we
could
do.
split up and go grab people, lickety split.
Yeah. Is there any way that? Oh my god, I don't know how well trained the eagles are. I assume that we could probably get Reginald to jump to his eagle or something.
Oh yeah. Reginald, Reginald is overjoyed. Now this is his best friend in the whole world,
Mhm.
who I don't have a
Uh,
name for. Who wants to name Reginald's pet eagle?
Why does it need a name?
Pettibone.
LD.
I like it. I don't know what it would stand for, but I like it.
All right. Let's see. So we'll have Reginald head off to rescue the prince.
Yeah, Reginald can go do that. So that's one eagle. Does anyone want
Send
to
another
accompany?
eagle after them because Eliza's with the prince, correct?
No, Angus went up into the poor district because your mindset was send the prince up that direction,
I
rally.
just wanted we also sent Eliza up there as well so that she can do
Yeah,
it from
we
the religious
sent
standpoint.
both of them together.
Oh, okay, cool. So I need to move that. That's been in the wrong place all this time. Then, yeah. So Reginald with one spare eagle. That leaves you with 8 remaining.
Actually, no, I think Greg would go after Eliza because they need to ingratiate themselves to her in order to get that fucking armor off.
Go with Reginald.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
want a baby eagle accompanying?
So that's
Yeah,
still
sure.
8 eagles that we have available.
Heroes is a minotaur, so he can get out of the city by himself.
Yeah, but we definitely
probably
want to
knows all of the
let
tricks to get out.
him know because, in all honesty, he's by far the squishiest and weakest out of all of us.
Right, but between all of us, he's the only one who can't get lost.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot that Minotaurs had that.
So he can navigate his way out using whatever secret path he ends up finding. That, and he's also going to the underground pitch fighters.
Yeah,
Yes,
so we will...
that is
He's
where he
among-
currently is.
Yeah, so either he comes back or he doesn't, and that's just the way it was meant to be no matter what.
Please let him come back. I still want to train him.
Eh,
Gendry will be harder to find.
he's got stuff going on. Heroes made the most of his time.
Good. Because Keldor totally wants to start a monstrous regiment to protect the kingdom.
Nice.
Alrighty.
Nice.
So looking for a giant owlbear running through the streets with a pink-haired goblin on its back.
Yeah, it's surprisingly easy. basically, you just look for where things are broken, and then you follow that line until they are not broken.
And in
And that's
between the
why-
two is where you see a giant owlbear with a little pink dot on its back.
Yeah, and that little pink goblin, or pink-haired goblin, is basically. It seems what Meat Sprinkles decided to do was basically just get a big bag and fill it with bricks, and just basically riding down on Snowy's back, just hurling bricks at stuff.
Just screaming,
As-
for Smokey, my god!
Yeah, pretty much.
As like there's probably like 10 down guards trying to chase him down.
Good
Oh,
job,
yeah,
Ernest.
and-
Best.
Yep, good thing owlbears are fast.
It's actually a somewhat amusing sight. Let's face it. Just hurling bricks, screaming obscenities. I don't know how, but some of those bricks he set on fire. We don't question it.
He had alchemical supplies, and that included oil.
It's true.
The moment he sees them and he gets within range, he pokes Notad and says, "Pick them up," and then shouts, "Snowy, heal!" Owlbear instantly stops.
Yep. So what Notad does is he lowers himself down, forgets precisely how large he is, crushes a few buildings. Thankfully, the only people in these buildings were asshole guards. They all have little name tags going, "Don't worry, I was an asshole."
Oh, good.
Nothing morally duplicitous here.
Yeah. Well, oh, fine. If they don't have a name tag, they are in the process of something assholey. I don't know. I
It's
don't know
war,
what they.
who cares? Let's go.
I'm trying to keep your morals clean, guys.
The streets will flow with the blood of the non-believers. Let's go.
The dragon comes from the sky.
Yep. So Notad will put out his claw. He can't see out of the side, out of one specific side. So he knocks over another building, just puts out his big ass claw, and Snowy will run up it and get onto the back of you. And Meat Sprinkles has got a big happy smile on his face, and just like a look of "I did it." I don't know what I did, but I did it.
Certainly did, buddy.
Who who are you sending to try and find Genfrey and or Sansalor? Are you just are you just gonna fucking forget Sansalor and ditch him?
Sansalor could probably get out of the city on his own out of everybody here. He just kind of fades into the background anyway.
He does, which is why I think it'd be amusing if he was already here. He's just here like, I've been here the whole time, guys.
That would be true.
Yeah, he'll. You know what? Sansalor's a smart cookie. I mean, not actually. I don't think his intelligence is that high, but I am going to say Sansalor did whatever nonsense he wanted to do, and he's already out of the city waiting by the bonfire. He's just stood near it, like, so you don't need to worry about that. If you are searching for Genfrey, the last place you saw him is he was making fireballs just fall down from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Once
Follow the
again,
trail of that.
yeah, just look for where things are burned, and then where they are not burned, and then look for the suspicious bit of rope dangling in the air.
Alrighty. This plan
Once
went
again,
off without more than one hitch.
Yeah, this stuff has been surprisingly easy. I mean, thankfully, there was enough distraction caused on the other side of town. Crime Man was a big problem for everybody until he wasn't.
That's only going to ingratiate ourselves to the citizens of this town.
Yeah.
Yeah, burning half the city probably will kind of negate a little bit, though.
We broke even.
Yeah. It's 50-50. You'll be fine. Things will be
Keldor
fine.
waits until they're over the poor district, and then takes out one of the little chest he had, and just drops it off the side. It shatters on the ground, and there's gold and copper coins on the ground now.
Actually, what's the chance that there was someone directly underneath that?
Please no.
That would be harsh. All right, you know what? The person directly underneath it is Jim. Thankfully,
Not the Jim we know.
no, it is the Jim you know. But thankfully, at that exact moment, he tripped and stumbled and fell over, so the chest lands directly next to him instead. And he goes, "Oh, isn't this duplicitous? It's how convenient. Although since this isn't mine, I should share it amongst everybody here. Gold for everyone. Gold for everyone.
District covered in gold.
Yeah, and he'll be fine. He just won't have any clothes left because people take things.
Just an average Saturday for Jim.
All right, so Greg and Reginald, you want to go and find Eliza and Angus. You can do that. Is anybody accompanying you on your eagle, Greg, or is it just you?
I don't know. Is anyone accompanying me on my eagle?
I know we crossed the room from each other, so I think they're on different eagles.
Okay.
Greg and Uxwa, so.
Then I guess I'm by my lonesome trying to pick up chicks.
Oh no.
Yep.
Specifically one.
It's quite, once again, surprisingly easy to find. You know what? For convenience, in the district where yours and Utswa's shops were, you see a large crowd of people. They seem to be gathered around, all cheering and oohing and ahhing, as you can make out Angus, who's just kind of stood there like, I have no idea what I'm even doing here. Just like, I guess I'm being an inspiration or. Oh, aye. You see all those fires and all that jazz. That's my doing. Or not me. It's actually a lot of my very capable friends. We're going to kill all those bastards, basically. And if you want to be a part of that, like just leave here, head to. What would be the best place to send you? If you were to head to where Dundee was, it's going to be a wee bit scary because there's going to be a lot of hobgoblins and some giants. But tell them that you're friends with someone called Jarl Kid the Dark Horse. And, then just shout mercenaries a lot and you'll probably be accepted.
So true.
So if you want to do that, just get out of here because I think everything's about to get a lot worse than it currently is. And next to Angus is Eliza, just doing Eliza things, I guess, is the easiest way to describe it.
Which would be
I don't know. A small part of it, like she wants to help people, but she's also utterly intrigued and baffled by the severe amount of just pain and misery they are currently going through. So she's probably asking way too many questions about like, so you're downtrodden and oppressed. How does that make you feel?
okay.
And does it hurt when I tell you that your life is almost meaningless in this society?
Oh.
Okay, so you have the one person telling you how bad off you have it, and the other person who's preaching about all these good things. You're starting a cult.
Yeah. Telling them to leave town and it'll be
Go to this
great.
place with weird people that you don't know, who you're going to be real close with.
And you chant out a very specific phrase. I mean, honestly, you haven't played D&D till you've started a cult at least once.
We've hit it, guys. We've made it.
Prim is rolling in a grave. Holy shit.
And then two giant eagles land. And hey, these are my friends. I told you they're pretty impressive. Oh, by the way, in case you didn't realize, I'm like the prince. I'm supposed to be a big deal, but apparently I don't actually do that much anymore. I'm just kind of around. And I'm almost like a plot device.
Oh no,
I mean,
where? No.
So you two giant eagles have landed. Angus will get up on with Reginald. Eliza, I'm assuming you invite Eliza to get up on you giant bird.
I get off the bird and I like help her up, very gentlemanly like.
Oh,
Yeah.
so gay.
I'm trying here. I'm gay now, so I have to like try. I can't just be straight and not make an effort.
Aw.
Oof. Shots fired.
Honestly, they were on the mark.
Oh yeah, it's really easy for guys. We just lay back and girls just mob us.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
Hi, Shan. How are you? Shit. Anyway.
So do you say anything or do anything, or are you just like, hey, get up on my bird, please?
I'm just like,
if you want.
I'm just like, let's get the hell out of here.
Oh, okay then. Bye everybody who is depressed and downtrodden. Have fun. We might come back and fix everything, or we might not, because things might go horribly, horribly wrong.
Did you tell them how their
Yay.
lives are essentially meaningless?
Oh yes, many times.
Oh, good. At least we got that covered. Bye,
but
NPCs.
I followed it up by saying, but they won't be if you come and join the rebellion.
Good cover. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay. Oh, are you okay? Have you like been shot or hurt or anything?
Oh, yes, I'm in immense pain, but we can deal with that later.
Okay. I like your bird.
Oh, thanks. I named him Pettibone.
That's a very specific name. That's not something you've just pulled out of nowhere. You.
I have a lot of free time, I'm not gonna lie. Let's not focus on that.
Okay. You fly off. What's your plan? You've picked up your NPC friends. Where are you proceeding to? Well, what is your plan?
Aren't
I
we
like to
meeting back
imagine
at the
Sanzaloth
Prim
found his way
statue?
to meet you all here. Prim statue? That's the plan?
I thought
think
that was
so.
the plan.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Boom. You start flying. You're going. You're out of a city district. Oh, Heroes. Duh. Nearly forgot that. He's important.
He'll be fine.
Is anyone going to pick him up, or are you just like, nah, he'll sort it?
He'll get it out by himself.
Okay.
I think we should at least like try, because I feel like he'll be hurt otherwise, like emotionally, if he's the only one we leave behind. So like, I think for shits and giggles, we send Flick on an eagle to go check on Heroes.
Okay, send Flick to the fighting pit. See how that turns out.
Yes.
All right.
That's great.
Fuck,
Well-
he'll do it.
Yeah, kid, do you want to jump on an eagle, or do you want to take the dragon?
I'm gonna take the dragon.
Nice. All right, dragon. Boom. You know the fighting pitch. You land there. You get there. The scene you see, it's actually, if anything, it's probably somewhat cathartic for you, kid. There's a lot of guards stripped down to, like underwear, tied up. Lots of angry-looking gladiatorial, severely underappreciated and badly treated, if you want to call them slaves or gladiators or fighters, whatever you want to call them, they're them. And they are in charge, with Heroes standing like in charge of everyone. Like, hey, we did it. We're in charge. This is the shit. There's also a whole variety of different things. You can make out there's an ogre there. There's basically just anything that would normally be considered monstrous.
Mhm.
So there's definitely a couple of orcs and
Can there be like a gelatinous cube with an axe just sticking out of it? Kind of like
100% that is there.
it could kind of jiggle and wave the axe. Just
I mean-
kind of.
there is now.
Yeah.
There's like centaur that things that would not normally be like accepted into human society. They're all just kind of kitted out with gear that is obviously not theirs, and they're very much enjoying the fact that they have overthrown their oppressors in this fighting pit. And Heroes is like, "Yo, I did it. It was good." Do you have any words to say to these people as you
Kid's gonna
land
look
with a
around a little bit
dragon?
first.
Keldor will jump off the back. Sorry, did I interrupt you?
Go ahead. You do what you want to do first.
Keldor's gonna jump off the back, walk up to Heroes, and put his hand on his shoulder and say, "Well done," and then turn to the monstrous regiment, as he's gonna start calling them, and say, "A time for your people and my people is coming. A time of peace and prosperity between us and the humans. But before that happens, we must take down one final foe. Meet at the Scarfell Keep. There will be people there ready to train you and equip you." And Keldor's just gonna be up there, and he's gonna be very close to crying because this is basically what he's wanted his whole life.
Man, that's gonna absolutely hurt. Kid's going to walk past you and is going to immediately begin searching around for very specific individuals.
Yep.
Well, I would have known while I was here.
All right. So, in reaction to Keldor, you do not need to roll diplomacy. You have convinced these people. You have, yes, Heroes freed them, but Heroes is like, hey, these are the people who got me here. They freed me. I'm doing what they wanted. So you've got a whole bunch of.
I'm a gnoll who's like in a position of authority.
Oh yeah,
That's
you're like
an
it's a
oddity
big
in
deal.
and of itself.
So there's plenty of cheering and whooping, and yeah, the gelatinous cube forms a smiley face out of itself. I don't know.
Yes.
I might have formed an instant liking of that gelatinous.
Yes.
You know what this means? I need to. I mean, okay, yes, I know it's written for 5th edition, but I need to go find Death by Mages, Jubilexian Adventure book and have a read of that, because he actually has written a whole bunch of stuff about how to be a slime player character.
Oh yeah. I've seen that stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, I might have to go buy that. Damn. I don't want to spend money.
Sorry, not sorry.
Don't feel bad.
No, it's fine. So, Kid, who are you looking for? What are you looking for?
First things first, looking for anybody who would be between the ages when Kid was taken and whenever he escaped the first time. That would be between the ages of 4 and 14.
Yeah, you find quite a few younger looking kids. Once again, kind of various species, So, all right, you see like a half elf, a half orc, but you see there's quite a few very badly treated children. And they haven't been equipped the same way because they're almost treated as fodder, unfortunately, by the whole fighting pit community society thing. But they are there and they are alive, and I can't say thriving in any way, shape, or form, but
How many of them use a chain weapon?
How many use a chain weapon? Yeah, there's one. Just because I want to see how this is going.
I'm going to walk over to is it what's the child?
They are a small half orc. You probably would not be able to hazard a guess at its gender at a glance. It's it's just not well looked after. So it has no defining gendered characteristics. You can't tell if it has breasts or facial hair or anything like that. It appears to have an eye patch over one eye.
Going to walk over to them, and first thing I'm going to say is, "Where's your master?"
They point over to one of the guards that are tied up with a crossbow bolt jammed into its eye socket.
What's the race of the guard?
Human.
Okay. I look around, very clearly that Kid's original master is no longer around.
If you want to roll me either a quick spot or search, whatever you believe would be more justified right now.
I'll make a spot.
Oof.
Nope.
Yeah, no. With a natural 1, which is a 0 for you. No, you can't make any obvious, I don't know, whatever it is that's distracting you more right now, but you're not really looking.
No, I don't care. I know that he's a shadow dancer. He can get away anytime he wants. So, with that taken into account, Kid's going to address all the children in front of him. And he's going to look at all of them and say, "So I was one of you 2 years ago. This gets better. I'm now stronger than giants. The Minotaur Heros over there, I defeated him in combat. You're going to take what you've learned here, and it's going to physically scar you for the rest of your life. Those are things that can never go away. However, every single thing that I've taken from this and what came after, I have learned from. And I've never made the same mistake twice. Last time when I escaped, I took no one with me. This time we're taking all of you with me. I can't give you back what was taken from you. I never met my parents. Most of you probably don't even have names. Know this. My name is Kid the Dark Horse. I was here once, and I got out. Everybody, this right here was also my master at one point. I'm going to say posting to, looking at Notepad.
The big giant dragon that is actually too big to get into the arena, so it just lifts his head up and pokes it over the top. It's like,
he owes me a debt, and he's going to repay it right now. Every single one of you, I look forward to getting to know you. And every one of you, I say looking at any of the handlers, we're going to leave you here. Here's hoping someone gets to you before the ants do, and we know the ants live here.
The small half-orc child, they're not wearing anything particularly, even just useful. It's little more than burlap sacks, but they reach into a pocket they have fashioned, and they pull out a small. It seems to be made out of like a combination of felt and straw, and essentially one small comfort, one small something, and they offer it to you, Kid.
I'll reach out my hand to see it.
It's a small bat. It's like a little cuddly toy, but made by a tragically underprivileged child.
Okay. We're going to train this one specifically. This one has precognition. I hereby appoint you as one of the members of my Dark Menagerie. I don't know what name you're known by now, but I'm giving you this title. From now on, you are the Dark Bat. You'll see things that others cannot.
Wait, are you just recruiting kids now to the army? Is that? Oh, hold on. I just wanted to double check because I got distracted for a second.
No, Kid knows exactly how capable all of these kids are.
Fuck. I'm gonna
Um,
make a mental note to talk to Kid later.
children are not soldiers.
He's not gonna
No,
turn
this
them
one's not a
into
soldier.
soldier.
This one's gonna grow up to be an advisor.
Yeah, the young half-orc child, eye patch over over one eye. They kind of look up and they give a bit of a smile, like they call me Petunia, but I like Bat more. I want to be Bat.
All right, Petunia. When you're talking with the other ones, refer to yourself by the Dark Bat title, and you'll be given the respect afforded to your position. Around all of us, you'll be Petunia whenever you want to be. All right. Everyone listen up. Notad, I need you to get all of these kids out of here. Everyone else, follow Heroes. He can get you out no matter how difficult the dangers may be. Do not lose sight of him. He can get his way out of the city. Heroes, we cannot carry you with everybody else. It's way too much weight for Notad to bear, and he's also somewhat blind. I'm counting on you to get everyone to the location that we need to get to.
Heroes gives a nod. He's like, I know path out of here. It's how I escaped first time. Before they tried to take me out and murder me. The whole thing. I know how to get out. It'll be fun. It'll be great. Everyone who does not want to be left here to die, follow me! And he just walks off. And the whole cavalcade of various monstrous, and yeah, of course, there's some regular looking people, but they would still be referred to as monsters by society, because, former criminals, just poor people, people with various like birth defects. Is that the correct way to refer to that kind of stuff anymore? I genuinely don't know if there's a more politically correct way to say it. People who are born like with only one eye, or things like that.
Okay.
Basically, anybody who would not have been considered worthy of fitting into regular society has ended up here.
Mm-hmm.
So they will all follow Heroes, and they will vanish off into a dark alleyway at the back of the fighting pits. All the children will climb up onto Notad's back. There's a bunch of guards sat around in their underwear, basically. One of them has the classic boxers with love hearts on for extra humiliation value. You done? You leaving this place?
I've got nothing else left to do here.
All right. With that, Notad will start flying off. Yeah. I'll say Sanzalar caught up to you at this point, and he's like, "Hey, the fuck, guys." Climb up onto Notad as well.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, you're done. You're leaving. You're flying. You head past the city limits. You've got your 10 eagles. You've got all your friends. You've got a bunch of children. You've got a dragon. You're flying. You fly past your bonfire. You look back over your shoulders to see the remnants of the city. It looks like a mess. What was once a giant protruding obsidian tower from the center has been destroyed. Smoke erupting from various parts. There's one thing which one might consider to be somewhat alarming. From the military district, specifically where the HQ was, there's a lot of something I mean, yeah, you know what? It basically looks like smoke, steam, something coming out of that area. And you see, you physically see entire towers and buildings seem to fall, but not as if they've just been knocked over or collapsing. They seem to, in a very controlled manner, lay themselves down and drag themselves inwards before there is a very, very loud. You can equate it to an explosion. Greg, you know what guns sound like. It's like that, but bigger.
It.
And then there's a very bright light. You've all seen fires. You know what fires look like. Imagine if you could imagine if you could make a fire, but you could control it and channel it in such a way that it could propel something specifically upwards, as the entire military HQ slowly begins to propel itself into the sky.
You don't see that every day.
No.
I think I have a word for that. I'm gonna write that down. Greg's just furiously taking notes. That is definitely Quaylen's problem, but I'm gonna make it my solution. So, yep.
I don't think it's Quaylen's problem anymore.
Well,
Oh no,
Quaylen's
that man
dead.
is, yeah, he's dead as shit. I made sure of that.
So Oots was seeing her shop down there while they were flying around. She's on her eagle, just like hugging her music box. That's all she's doing.
Varko's just gone, what the fuck is going on? So, who has thoughts and feelings about that?
So, if I had to describe it in a word perhaps that would be used in modern terms, I think I'm gonna call it a rocket.
I mean, rocket is one thing to call it. Thankfully, you can see countless people, from the poor district, all the people from the fighting pitch. You can see them. They have basically created like a small stampede leaving the city limits. But one thing you notice is this military fortress, as it is propelled up, like propelled. That's the word. It seems to hover briefly for a moment before countless, dozens upon dozens upon dozens of small black dots seem to erupt out of it in all directions. The entire surrounding area from where that HQ was then very quickly, very instantly disappears, turned to dust and rubble and flames.
Turning the page in my notebook. That was definitely Quaylen's fault.
So that town just got nuked, is what you're trying to say.
Not nuked, more blitzkrieged, just bombarded by cannon fire from a flying fortress.
And you're saying that a lot of the people were already running out when that happened?
I mean, this is in the military district. This is a very active display of power. They don't care who they hurt at this point. This is not, ha ha ha, we's gonna get you. This is, well, quite frankly, I would say it's Crail dick swinging, but he doesn't have one, so.
I'm like, a meteor in the center of that thing would probably crack it in half.
Yeah, good to see you do a meteor there, Keldor.
Well, we should probably get out of here before that thing comes after us.
Yeah.
Well, what it proceeds to do is very slowly. It can't move very fast. You can certainly outfly this thing. but it seems to be moving in a slow circular pattern around the city limits, basically destroying the entire city of its own volition.
Okay.
Just rude. Jesus.
Do you know what's the best thing about this, Utsua?
Mm.
At least your shop wasn't destroyed by that.
True.
You
Oh,
don't know her well enough to say things like that.
She's not answering you very well right now. She just looks at you, kid. She looks at you for a long time. And looks back to her music box.
I'm just staring at that fortress and I'm seeing all the people running out of the city. And I'm just... Hildor's torn because he wants to go back and protect all those people, but he knows because it's...
I mean, thankfully, this has quite a long distance to travel before it gets to like the poor district. So at the very least, the poorest people are getting out safe. You know.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many people are darted all over the city. I mean, it's got to travel through mercantile districts and the what was left over of the religious district, which is basically just an empty cathedral.
Based off of watching these things work, could I know in my head how they work? Or would I
Which
have to
part?
get closer?
Which part?
The cannons.
The cannons,
big
you
fucking
can...
guns, yeah.
Yeah, you got a fairly solid base on how that works. It's just a real big gun.
Right. How about the fortress itself?
That is a different matter altogether. That is more than just tinkering and fire. Like, that is... You saw entire buildings collapse and pull into it, and they now seem to be the propulsion system. That is a lot of techno wizardry. I'm sure if you spent enough time researching and studying and playing around, you might be able to make a small version of something like this. But that would require a lot of downtime, like physical time studying, some very good rolls, and a lot of resources.
I was going to do something very dangerous and stupid, but I think I'm going to hold on. Wait.
Quick question: how's the Black Tower faring to this?
I mean, Notan accidentally knocked over most of the Black Tower, but
Nautilai's probably fine.
well, you caught a glimpse of Natalie. They got on the back of a giant bone snake thing, and just that spiraled its way down the tower and just disappeared.
Okay, so now that's running around.
Yeah, he just let out some necromancer person into the world. He'll be fine.
Wouldn't be the first time.
What an...
I feel like we've done worse things in our brief time together.
Necromancers aren't inherently evil.
No,
This
not
one
like...
just killed a man instantly.
Yeah.
She killed her son instantly.
Yeah, with no remorse.
I mean, her son was also a really big douche nugget, so...
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
not denying that. That's why I slammed him into a wall of spikes.
I made y'all remove you. Bye.
So, obviously, you're outside the city limits. You're just watching this destruction happen, and you're like, we need to leave. If this gets close to us, what? Because this is going to take a good couple of hours for it to destroy the entire city.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then we head back to the statue of Primrose.
Yeah. As you head off, once again, you see plenty of, you see countless, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people making it out of the city gates, running off, and they all seem to be heading in one direction, thankfully. So,
I'm assuming
You-
the guards who were left behind would be like, "Oh shit, let's not help these anymore. Let's get everyone out."
No.
Is I wouldn't say it's a 50-50 split, but at least some of the city guards still around are on a basic level decent people. I would be like, they're just gonna kill us all. Let's go. So I would say survival instinct would kind of trump like personal selfishness. So yeah, I mean, all the guards and masters of the fighting pit, they're just tied up. They're gonna get bombed to shit. So that would be cathartic, knowing that. If there is nothing else specifically you want to do or ask or anything like that, you can get back to the Prim statue. You're on a bunch of giant flying things.
If it takes us 3 days of walking, then it should probably only take us a couple hours of flight.
Oh yeah, it takes no time at all. You'll get there.
Okay.
Don't really need to move the map, but yeah, well, we're not really looking at it, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, you find the clearing. You can lie down. The moment you land, Notad just collapses out of his dragon form, back to half elf. Giant flipping holes in his shoulder, eye, just disgusting, severely damaged looking mess, and he's just going to collapse on the floor. Everybody
I'm just
else?
gonna let him.
Yeah, that's fine. Everybody else, you've got all your friends back. Yeah.
Keldor's
They're all
immediately
severely damaged.
gonna go full mother hen mode and see what injuries they have and what he can fix.
Oh yeah, you weren't here for me to describe all those fun injuries for it. Obviously, Mateus is missing a foot and can't talk too good. Duratara, she is missing her left leg from the knee down. But they've got like table legs strapped to them, I think. Unst's arms are black. He cannot move them, he cannot use them, and the veins from his arms towards his chest, they are protruding out of his skin, and there seem to be pumping a thick black ichor through everything. He does also have the big cattle prod from the prison currently glued to his arm by a tanglefoot bag. Don't know why. This is what you lot decided to do.
I leave for 1 week.
Yeah.
We did
Honestly,
not have to
Honestly,
do that
this
at the time.
this
It
is
could've
not
gone
as
worse.
bad as it could have been.
Yeah, I completely agree. It could have gone a lot worse.
I mean, it's this group. Of course it can go worse.
Oh, there you go.
Matt, as far as the kids who rode back on Notad, how many are there roughly?
You know what? Roll me. What's a good random number to? 2d10.
Okay. Rolling.
Yeah, there's 10 of them.
Okay. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to see how many of them look like they're able to move around with no real difficulty.
For ease, yeah, they're well, you would assume, having lived that lifestyle, if any of them ever got so injured that they couldn't move and fend for themselves, they probably wouldn't have been kept around.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the ones that have managed to stick it out.
Okay. Then I'm going to address them. I'm going to tell them that for everybody who is having issues with their arms and their legs, they've seen this before. They know how to deal with it. I'm going to, let's see, I don't know how much we got in the way of weapons or anything. But
quite frankly, you can justifiably have any mundane equipment you want and justifiably picked it up.
Cool. Couple axes. I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna give them the axes. I'm gonna tell them to go to town on the forest around us
Mm-hmm.
and get what they need in order to make these things that will help.
All right, so we're going to go collect some stuff to make splints and whatnot.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah,
And seeing
they're
as sometimes they can probably attempt it.
they're more than happy to know how to do that. Like, yep, cool, yeah.
I did tell them they aren't allowed to cut off anybody's arms or legs if it seems like they're too far gone. Because that
Yeah,
would be
that's
the
fair.
first thought that would run through their minds.
Yeah.
Looking at Unt specifically, Keldor's gonna try and see if his healing glaive will, at the very least, mitigate some of what's going on there.
Well, you weren't here for this. Also, how Unst was being tortured is he had to stand perfectly still whilst a perpetual cloud of daggers, like hundreds and hundreds of small sharp objects, spiraled around him. If he moved an inch, he would get cut. And basically, like his arms are covered in cuts and scars, and so is his chest and legs and everything. They will heal up any open wounds or anything like that, but nothing from like his arms do not change color. He regains no sensation in them. He cannot move them. None of the whatever this is seems to subside.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's see. There was something else I wanted to do, but I'll wait for a little bit.
Alrighty. Greg, Utswa, Varko, you've got all your friends back. You've just watched another city be torn to the ground. I mean, for Greg and Utswa, this is your first city you've seen fall to ash. How's everybody feeling?
Boots was just like real close to Greg, not really saying anything, or she's just very quiet and to herself, but very close to Greg anyway.
Yeah, I think Greg would just sit down and pull Utswa into their lap and just hold her for a while.
That's perfect. And Utswa will she will start playing the music box and rewinding it every couple of minutes.
Alrighty.
I think maybe Vako would just. I think he would meditate. He'd just kind of like close his eyes and just drift off. Trying not to bother anyone.
Yeah, that sounds fair. You will all gain a level up when you get a long rest, so that is something to take into account.
Keldor's meditating in his own fashion, keeping busy and trying to make sure everyone has what they need, setting up. Because Keldor's very much someone who needs to really focus.
Yeah, very much like I am at my best when I am working, when I am doing something. I 100% understand that. Yeah. Does anybody want any interaction with any of the NPCs you currently have with you, or is it very much all right, everyone? I think we need to sleep because that was a whole fucking day. Because that has literally been over the course of one day.
Well, it wouldn't be a question of where's Prim. It's like they all knew that Prim was there, now they're not.
Well, yes, that is something that would come up, but I think
Okay.
everybody, all the people who weren't there, they've only just got out of a prison tower. I think their minds are very much like, I want to rest and sleep, and when we have like an actual conversation, then that question would most definitely come up.
Well,
Okay.
it kind of
Statue would
helps that we're
probably-
in the clearing with the statue of Bram.
that's a big part of it. I mean, these people are not totally stupid. They can see the giant memorial, and they can see that Prim is not currently here. They go, all right, 2 and 2, got it.
Those took a
Yikes.
little bit longer.
Yeah, Unst was like, he was probably wondering like, oh wow, whatever Prim did, that must have been real impressive to get a statue that big.
But he's got 1 level of fighter, so he can read. It just took him a couple seconds to think about it.
Oh, okay.
They will have that conversation of people, like if you want to have that conversation with them, but I think like you as characters all have other things you need to do rather than have a bunch of NPCs go, hey, where's that person who's our friend but isn't here?
No, I'm just curious. It'll happen later. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, that conversation can and will happen if you want to, but if there's other things you want to focus on that first.
One of the first thing Keldor's doing is getting materials together to make a shelter, because all our tents were burnt.
Oh yeah.
It was.
Oh yeah. Damn it.
So were the skins.
If anything, oh my god, I've just realized something. Mateus is going to be like, hey, where's Mustang?
I just look at Relathor and look back at Mateus and look back at Relathor and say, talk to him. Or maybe don't, he's insane.
Okay. I won't do that.
Mustang's no longer with us.
Oh. Well, yeah. As long as nothing awful happened, like, I don't know, got eaten by something. Mustang was always terrified of becoming somebody's meal.
I just say, that eagle over there looks like he could be named Mustang.
Mustang the second. I like it. Oh, God. This voice is actually, I don't know why, but you just want to sigh a lot when you have to talk like this. It's weird. Oh, dear. All right, yeah. Keldor, do you want to roll a survival, or do you just want to take 20? And we don't need to roll dice if you can't be bothered.
Actually, I want to roll die. I want to see, because Keldor is somewhat distracted, so,
Oof. Yeah, there's not a great job you do. Not even a little bit. Yeah.
Is it too late to take the 20? Oh my god.
Oh no, Keldor's too distracted to take.
I kind of like to think like, Keldor's like, all right, I'm gonna go find some, I'm gonna go find some trees and make a shelter. And you kind of walk off and then go, we'll be fine sleeping under the stars. It's not raining.
As it starts raining.
Raining cannon fire.
Oh, jeez.
Don't you dare. Oh my god.
I think at some point, Greg would probably get up, just drape their overcoat over Utswan, make a lean-to shelter for the two of them at least.
That works for me.
Keldor's finally realizes he's too distracted, and then just as he's carrying 2 branches that he thought would be okay for doing stuff, he's just like, screw this, and then he goes and curls up by Snowy and just falls asleep. He's like, the others can fend for themselves for once.
Wow, Keldor is saying, I'm not doing watch, someone else fucking do it.
Been a long day.
It has been an immensely long day. It almost feels like this day has taken, about 4 weeks. Yeah. If you all just want to get a good sleep for 8 hours, you can totally do that, and we all pick up after that long rest.
Sure.
Okay.
Or you can sleep for 12 hours or however long you want to.
Sleep for the next 48 years.
All right. Well, if there is nothing that people want to immediately get on with and do. And Faf, good long rest. You now have 10 children.
Oh,
Oh God, what?
we fucking can help but watch the one that the half-born child. You just can't help but watch them wherever they go.
Dark Pat.
Yeah.
Oh no, Dark Pat's the leader. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, they actually appear to be slightly older, or at least, if not older, bigger than the other children. So that's definitely a part of it. All right. So I think everyone, like in character, is just very much exhausted. So get a full rest. We can take our break. It's a couple of minutes early, but we can take our break. You lot can.
Timing is terrible for us.
Yeah, it is. But that also gives you a lot of chance to look at what you want to do for your level up, because you're all level 10.
Yeah.
Woo!
Woot.
Halfway to Sunday.
So, yeah, we're going to take a quick break, everybody. Be back in about 5 minutes, give or take.
Okay.
And we'll figure out what we're doing next.
Right.
I need to stop burning down cities.
Yeah, maybe. All right.
There's
see
no
you
more
guys
left.
after break. Holy cow.
Okay. This is good for ads.
Right, what?
Additional enemies. Okay.
So this is something she would do after the whole my shop is.
Hello.
How long has that been? Have we just been we've been sat here going doot, 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 doot.
Apparently, I was muted and they did not hear me saying we were live. Okay. Start from the top.
Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. We've just been figuring out the level ups for various people. So, hey, let's talk about them because I'm a huge fan of role playing. So, I like it when level up isn't just a thing that happened. It's something that fits into what you've been doing, and it's who like. I also like to go like, all right, you don't just wake up with brand new spells. You have to do something for them or whatnot. So, Archer, I think yours is technically like the least complicated, being all knightly stuff. What did you get for your level up?
I got a couple fun things. It's called Vigilant Defender, which basically means if we get a sneaky rogue coming around trying to get past me, they do a tumble check to avoid getting hit by me. The DC is twice as high. And I also got Shield Ally, which means I can absorb the damage that someone else takes as long as I'm adjacent to them.
And this seems, somewhat, well, not somewhat, very apt for everything that just seen all of your friends who've taken severe beatings, and like that's not happening anymore. So yeah, that's like a very logical thing. It's like, all right, Keldor has made the active decision. Ain't no one else getting hit now. I'm gonna take all them hits, and I like it. Nice. Don't Blink is currently in an airport lounge, so he couldn't do his level up per se. So that'll be something we get to look at next time, unless you have a vague idea of what it is you want to do. Don't Blink, or do you need to stop and have a
I
good?
would like
look
more
at...
time. Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
more time.
Yeah, that we'll cover yours at the start of next session then, which is also when we'll do flicks. I suppose the next least complicated would be Greg, because it's not magic related,
Yeah.
unless Greg's taken a level in wizard now.
Fuck no. I can barely understand what I do now. Basically, I just nothing super important happened. I just got more health and I leveled up some skills that I feel like would be relevant to the shit that just happened. So Greg is now a little better with tumble, listen, and climb after their fun jailbreak expedition.
Like gunslingers don't get tons of new abilities because they have like a never-ending list, pretty much, don't they? They're very much.
They just get better at doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's cool. Did you get any more grit? I forget how that works. Or
How does that work? That's a good question. I should probably know how that works. At the start of each day, I gain grit equal to my wisdom mod. So like wisdom mod hasn't changed or anything.
yeah,
so.
that stays standard then. All right. Yeah. No problem. That's cool. Because once again, you already have all of your powers basically.
Well, next level I get new shit, but for now.
You also get more nimble stuff, which means you're harder to hit.
Yeah, that's true. So second level and every 4 levels on, so at level 10, yeah, your AC has gone up. You're more nimble.
Oh, cool.
You're nimbler. We can fiddle that in because that's just an extra +1 on your dodge bonus to your AC. That's easy to do. Do you got a bonus feat? Level 4, 4 levels. Nope, not yet. All right, cool. Double checking. Ba-dum. Who's got the less complicated magical level ups, and how do they want to justify they got new powers between Utswa and Kid? I suppose Kids is technically less complicated because you literally just got to crack open your book and go, I just had a brand new idea.
Basically, I never got to use the shadow magic that I had prepared. Although honestly, it's definitely calling out to me because of the whole darkness of the soul thing going
Mhm.
through, and just the whole dark aesthetic. Um, it just seems right to get my versatility ready so I can fix problems as it happens. And personally, I just want to put people in a hole in a couple different ways. So I have come up with 2 new spells. The first of which is Shadow Conjuration, which basically is going to make me try and illusion people into believing that some other spell that exists is currently a thing. And the other is Shadow Well. And Shadow Well is basically a shadow that reaches out from their own shadow, pulls them inside, torments them, and then releases them, hopefully, which could potentially remove the threat from the battlefield for a couple of seconds and torment it with its own demons that only it knows.
This seems very apt. First of all the shadow stuff you've been doing with what's the other name we've been calling Shadow Kid? Is the canon name Dick?
Canon name is Dick, yes.
Yeah. So all the interactions you've had with Dick and speaking to yourself, beating yourself up.
Oh, by the way, that's gotten better. At this point, Shadow Kid, who at this point had been an unwilling participant, now has the ability to have his consciousness completely usurped by the regular kid, which will allow him to see through the Shadow's eyes. And potentially cause him to be able to do things without any actual harm coming to himself. It's only Dick who's taking the beating on this one.
I
But
am
a lot of the
being.
spells I picked are good.
You do not realize how well behaved I'm being right now, not making comments about beating Dick.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine.
All right. So that leaves us finally to, at least character roleplay wise, probably the most interesting level up, which is Utswa. Utswa, what new powers have you gained?
You're muted.
No, I'm not. I'm fine. I had a question about that actually. Doesn't a warlock's powers come from their patron, right?
Yes.
So would she need to talk to her patron to get this?
I mean, that depends. I mean, some patrons, they're quite benevolent. They're like, "Hey, good job, more powers for you. You are spreading chaos into the world, or you are fulfilling why I'm giving you powers." It kind of depends on how you believe Utswa's connection with her patron has gone thus far. I mean, I have a few plans lined up, but in the past, when Utswa has gained more powers, basically, how do you imagine that went? Just woke up one day and like, oh, cool, I have new powers. I guess someone likes me. Or do you think it's very much, I need to call up, I need to call up the big boss and see if I can get stronger?
Accidentally vaporizes a guard. Oh, well, that's new.
Sweet. So what I imagine their relationship is, it's gotten progressively worse over the years. Uh, but that gets it's up to you ultimately. I don't really know. I've never played Warlock before. What would that recommend
Well, once again, this is entirely your choice. I mean, like I said, I have a whole bunch of potential stuff regarding your patron because I just like to manipulate people.
I know.
So, well, it basically depends on how you think Utswa's backstory has gone. How close does Utswa is Utswa to her patron? Is it a very regular? Hey, I'm gonna do a thing, and the patron's like, all right, cool. Or is it very much you go off and do your own stuff, and the patron occasionally appears in your ear and goes, hey, set stuff on fire? How do you imagine it goes?
It might be more that might explain the insane moments.
Crazy?
Yeah, the crazy
Yeah.
just a little bit. That would make a lot of sense actually. Let's do that one.
All right. So, Utswa, you're having a good little sleep.
Mm.
Probably played with the regular night horrors that are in that mind. Well, let's start that off. You're in your shop. It's a nice shop. It's good shop. It's on fire. It's not good shop. It's all gone.
Okay.
A shadowy figure speaks to you from basically layout of your shop. There was like a small door behind the counter, and that led to like where your bed and everything was. Obviously, it's all burnt down, so there's the doorway, but no door. So from where your bedroom would have been, you can vaguely make out an amorphous, shadowy creature. It's very much like, hey.
Hi. Hi.
So things kind of went wrong, didn't yeah.
A little bit.
How are you feeling? Good? Not good?
Surprised you're asking me, to be honest.
I mean, I don't really care. It's kind of like a formality thing. Yeah. Kind of just want you to tell me how angry you are. How hurt. Yeah. Quite frankly, you'd be astounded how much enjoyment I get out of knowing people are like just suffering in general.
Yeah, I know.
Nice. So what's your plan with all of this? Like, what's going on?
I just want to feel safe.
Mm.
I haven't been safe for years. I'm tired of it.
Well, I don't know how you intend to feel safe. That was pretty. How do I put this into words? Oh, I know. Giant flying fortress of death. That's not a place where safe things exist, is it?
No.
No. And it kind of like gets in the way of me doing stuff. So, do you want to make it, you know, just not? That'd be cool. That'd be useful.
If I make everything not, people are gonna die.
So,
Greg will die.
so
I'm not cool with that.
well, yeah.
I want a wall. I want a barrier.
We just got a follow. Yeah, we did by Verdant Justice. Thank you for the follow. Sorry about that.
I'd like to imagine the patron is just a random Twitch streamer who's just this is her go-to.
I actually have seen that patron idea. You know, be it like followers or whatever on Twitch or Twitter or whatever. It's actually a very amusing concept. So, okay. So you think a wall will, yeah, keep you safe? I mean, not to be an asshole. Well, actually, yeah, you know what, I am being an asshole. You see where we are? What are those things that were around this shop that now aren't? Walls. I'm saying walls are kind of shit, and they can break and fall down, and they don't really do anything. So, yeah. I mean, you still want just a wall? That it?
Let me read the thing I'm kicking at.
No, it's fine. You know, if you want a wall, I give you. But how about?
Can I get a wall that hurts my enemies?
Yeah. How about we make it so those people who have to see this, they get to feel what you feel. Yeah. Because think about it, those people who've done all of this, you know, all those annoying little humans
All the guards
crawling
I
around.
killed? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, them, the people who give them their jobs, and the, you know, quite frankly, just everyone. All these people who just get in the way.
I'll agree with you. That was really fun killing all those guards.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? So, like, you know, this perpetual existential dread you just have, like, all the time. Imagine if you could do that to people. Doesn't that sound like fun? Yeah, everybody gets a little glimpse and think all.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. We can make that happen. Spread the chaos. That sounds like fun. I mean, because, you know, people are only, you know, crazy when there's people who think they aren't around to compare it to. You know, if we put everyone on the same level, what even is sanity? All right, cool. So, there you go. I can make that happen. Small favor. I'm calling it a favor, but it's really not. It's more of a demand. Like, do as I say. Cool with that. Yeah, good. Um, I'm not super keen on what is going on with that lady friend of yours. Not the green one. Yeah, the other one.
What other one?
Oh, you know, I don't learn names. You act like you people actually like are blips on my radar. I mean, the lady.
The other crazy one?
Yeah. Well, whatever's going on with that, I'm not a fan of it. Maybe you should kill her. And by maybe, I mean you should kill her. All right. Okay. Thanks. Bye.
I assume the door closes and slams shut.
Yeah.
I'm done talking to you. Oh.
the rest of your sleep pans out however you so choose it, or you wake up with,
With this, I'm gonna leave this up to you. Is there a timeline for this bullshit?
there isn't a time limit, but one would assume that, I mean, you probably will have been given small tasks like this before, oh, hey, kill that person, hey, set that on fire, hey, pick those flowers, they look cool, whatever the task has been. So
Murder
far,
that
you have
man in cold blood.
probably always done them relatively quickly, I assume. So you don't know what happens if you don't do the little tasks.
Oh. Okay. I'm awake. Fuck that, I'm awake.
You're awake. You've got Greg next to you. Eliza is somewhere nearby, sleeping, perfectly vulnerable.
What I wouldn't give for Dream Prim right now. Mm, mm. Okay. Utswa will stand up and wander over towards Eliza. Where's Eliza's bag?
She's using it as a pillow because you're just kind of sleeping outside under the stars.
Of course.
I mean, I'd say it's like, yeah, you probably got a decent amount of sleep. It's maybe like 3 in the morning. It right at where the night is darkest. Sun's gonna rise in maybe an hour or so.
Okay, hang on. We think about this for a second. I'm gonna go to something else for a second while I think about this bullshit. Let's go to something else for a second. Let's go to someone else.
Well, anybody else? You've obviously slept. You can wake up whenever you want to wake up, or you can, if anyone wants to justify that Utswa getting up and moving around has disturbed them, they may also wake up and interact.
Yeah, Greg would definitely be like, "What the hell's going on?"
Okay. Hey, where's my small cuddle thing? Where it go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Greg.
What are you doing? What's going on?
Nothing.
Sure don't sound like nothing.
Dodge.
It's what crouches down, like, let's say 10 feet from Eliza, just watching her. Just watching.
This is moderately creepy. I know you're obsessed with Prim's life and everything, but just let the woman sleep.
She is sleeping.
Yeah, and I noticed that too. Maybe you should go back to sleep, because clearly something's up.
I don't feel like sleeping.
You're really freaking me out here, man. Like, what is the problem?
Am I freaking out? I'm sorry. That's not my intention.
You talked to him again, didn't you?
Maybe.
What does it want?
Something I probably shouldn't do.
Well, remember what I said happens when he asks for unreasonable things? You don't fucking do them.
And I listened to that advice 0 times.
Yeah, well, maybe this is the one time you should listen to it. Because we're in the middle of a war. The last thing we need is unnecessary risks for some asshole who thinks he has control over you.
She'll glance back at Greg and me think he does.
He doesn't unless you let him.
40 years is a long time, Greg. Back to staring at Eliza.
I'm just gonna sit up and load my gun. But so if you have to try anything, and if it's gonna hurt somebody, I'm gonna have to stop you.
Hmm. How? Okay. Is this like, okay, Matt, is this wall just one singular wall, or can it be like a barrier, like a box?
Assuming it functions like other spells, let me just double check. It's Wall of Gloom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just. Yep, there we go. Let me check. Because I think, like other wall spells, you can kind of move it around and shape it in all kinds of different ways.
Bend it 4 ways. That'd be great.
So, what is the amount you can create? So, you create a barrier of ominous shadow that obscures vision and deters passage. Creatures and squares adjacent to the wall have concealment against attacks from the other side, while creatures don't This is frustrating because it doesn't say what size the wall is that you can make.
Yeah, just the range of it, which is 100 feet plus 10 feet per level. So that doesn't really. Maybe DM discretion will this one?
That's really strange because every other wall spell usually has rules. I'm going to quickly dig out my copy of Complete Arcane and have a look in there, see if it's just this website that hasn't got the full details on it. Where the heck is my copy of that book? Bum, 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 bum.
A straight wall whose area is up to 1 10-foot square per level.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Wow.
like square, as in like 10 by 10 feet.
I think so.
So that's
Uh,
10 levels of feet. That's 100
Alright.
feet of wall.
Repeat that again for me, please. Just
The effect is a straight wall whose area is up to 1 10-foot square per level.
wow. That's real fucking impressive. So yeah, you can create up to 100 foot of wall, but it says one straight wall, so it's
Gotcha.
one.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because a lot of the wall spells usually specify, you can, create it in any shape you want, or like Wall of Ice, for example, you can create a demisphere around something. So, so you can just make 100-foot wall.
Utsu is going to cast Wall of Gloom between herself and Eliza. Like, how big is this camp, this clearing?
It's sizable. Like, it's maybe a camp of like a 40-foot radius or so. You've got a lot of people.
Yeah, how nearby is anybody else? Partner close enough.
It depends how far you and Greg wanted to get close to people or not. I mean, if you think that you two went off and slept on your own somewhere, that's absolutely fine.
Maybe? I think. Yeah.
I don't
Not
know.
up to Greg at that point.
Probably just made like a lean-to on the outskirts of camp.
Okay, cool. Then Utsu will make like a 20-foot wall between her and Liza. And she'll just sit there, staring at the wall.
Okay. Okay, see, I've just gone and found the Wall of Gloom, because looking at the description in the Complete Arcane, on one, for the evocation, it just says, look at the spell. So then looking at the spell, what the effect states is a semi-opaque sheet of darkness up to 40 foot long, or a ring of darkness with a radius up to 15 feet, and either form is 20 foot high. So you can either make a 40-foot long straight wall, like up to, or you can make a ring around something.
With the diameter of 15 feet?
Up to 15 foot, yes.
Gotcha. Now this wall can't this description isn't very clear. Can the wall protect you from things like a barrier, or is it just like a see-through wall, like a you can't see me wall?
It's semi-opaque, so that means you can half see through it. Because opaque means you can't see through it. So so if I read the full description here, so you create a barrier of ominous shadow that obscures vision and deters passage. Creatures in squares adjacent to the wall have concealment. So that means, like, if you are next to the wall, people can't see you. They are unseen from the other side. While creatures more than one square away have total concealment, which is like you really can't see them. Concealment is like 20% mischance, and total concealment is 50%, if someone wants to correct me on that. Yeah.
Okay, then
although the wall is not substantial, a creature with 6 or fewer hit die must succeed on a will save or be halted at its edge.
Okay.
So you all have more than 6, so Greg can walk through it if need be.
But can it stop items like bullets going through it?
No.
Okay.
Bullets will go through it, but they have a chance to miss you. As in, you
it's
can't
like a curtain. It's a fancy curtain. I got it.
That is basically it. You can make a fancy ass curtain that people can't see you through. And if that's how you want to flavor it, it's not just shadows. You can literally say, I make like a theater curtain appear around me. That is how my Wall of Gloom works. It's a curtain. It's a dark, spooky curtain, but it's a curtain. If that's how you want it. So
yeah, I'm going to redact my statement a little bit. 15 foot. So yep, around it's what goes up. So she's just by herself in this little thing, being very quiet.
I mean, you can make it as small as you want, so you can make it just surrounding you, or surrounding you a little bit, or
the first one.
Yeah, so it's literally just Utsu in the middle, surrounded by a wall around it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. You can do that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get up and try to enter it and sit next to her anyway.
I mean, you don't know what this wall can do. You've never seen it.
I don't care. My friend's in there.
Oh, it's a spooky wall. It's spoopy.
Okay, so a creature with 6 or fewer hit die must succeed on a will save or be halted at its edge. You have more than 6 hit die, so that means you don't need to make the will save. You can just walk through it.
Mm-hmm.
Creature can attempt to pass the wall any number of times, but you can just do it. So, yeah, you just step inside the dark, spooky wall. Now I need to check what the invocation adds on to it as well, because invocations are different to the spells.
I'm sorry. Complications.
Oh no, it's fine. It's my fault for not having this book readily available, like in front of me.
Sorry, audience. We're terrible with this.
No,
Hey,
we're not. This is fun.
Saving
It's
throws
new.
for duration is concentration plus 1 round per level.
It's new and exciting things that, well, you guys didn't know you were leveling up today, so
It's true.
come on, nearly there. Is that literally? It just says as the spell. I did all that scrolling for it to say as the spell. Got it.
D&D.
So yes, there is no other part to it. That's it. That's the spell. You can do that.
Fancy fucking curtain. Got it.
Yeah.
The moment. Sorry.
So yes, Greg, you can just step into the curtain and be surrounded by total darkness, because that's what it does. It just creates total darkness all around it.
That not even dark vision can see.
It's magical darkness.
Gotcha. So I'm just gonna stand there and be like, Utswa, this whatever you're afraid of that's gonna happen, or whatever he asked you to do, you can talk to me.
This isn't a fucking wall. It's a curtain.
It's very scary if that makes you feel any better.
I like it scary. Just like I'll curl up in a little ball on the floor, just like brooding.
Look, I know that I don't fully understand your relationship with your patron, but I thought I understood our relationship, and I'm your friend. And I don't want to see you do something you're gonna regret.
Damn. Bruiser.
Are we just friends or are we something else? You said I wouldn't remember it, but I do.
I mean, I don't know what you want us to be. Kind of a lot of stuff going on. Sounds like someone's kicking a dog.
No, it's just old boy who's being very overdramatic.
Ah.
Yelps if something makes him jump.
No.
I tell you what told me to do, are you gonna tell anybody else? 'Cause that's gonna get me in trouble.
I won't, but if I have to, I'm gonna stop you from doing it.
Like I want to do it. I wanted to do everything else, but I don't want to do this.
What is it?
So, you know how Prim got married?
I am vaguely aware of that situation, yes.
Yeah, the mildly crazy weird lady.
Eliza.
Mm-hmm. You want my you don't like it too. You don't like her too much, and I do. Last time I didn't like someone, they went up in flames.
He wants you to kill her.
Mm,
Well, I know that you are a smart woman and you know that that's a horrible idea and that we're not going to do that, right?
I told you I don't want to.
Yeah, but you don't want to do a lot of things that you do. So I don't want to hear like, I don't want to. I want to hear, I'm not going to.
He said a wall. Give me a goddamn curtain. As far as I'm concerned, that's not fulfilling bargains.
You know what? For just so you would learn how the spell works. You know,
Yeah.
a small bird tries to fly and just hits the side of the wall because it can't pass through it. Just
Oh, that's that bird. Oh no.
Oh, great. I can stop woodland creatures.
Well, I mean, now we have breakfast. So there's that.
Delicious.
I mean, Songbirds pretty tasty. I mean, I know it's beside the point, but I could make some really good bread.
I said delicious, Greg.
Yeah, but your toad's a little confused right now, and
I know, Greg.
I walked through this weird shower curtain of weirdness, and it felt gross, like stepping through a bunch of cobwebs. And
That's
you're
what I put
talking
on the,
about killing a person who we're friends with, and a lot's going on.
I think friend is that's a strong word for me, Greg.
Okay, well, I'm friends with her a bit. I let her shoot me, so you know that's kind of a big step.
She's like, reaching out towards the wall and like feeling it. Oh, it's
It's the word I would use to describe it if there were a word to encompass the feeling of stepping through it, it would be moist.
There's not
That's
a word for this.
It's a
It's like-
moist wall.
That just sounds disgusting. Don't say that. No.
No, moist.
I prefer dank.
Ah,
Fucking dank meme wall. God damn it.
take me wall.
Where's Flick when you need him? Making weird comments about this.
Look, let's just agree we're not going to kill Eliza. Prim would not want that.
I know.
And I don't know where you are. I can't see shit, but it's gonna be okay.
I'm right. I can't see you either. Oh God.
Yeah, you didn't think this through, did you?
Listen,
But-
I'm having an emotional issue. I can't think about everything at once right now.
Yeah, I know it's rough. I'm just sort of gonna feel around until I can like pat her head.
Ugh. Ugh. Good.
It's
No.
okay. It's not anything weird. I'm gonna attempt to sit down next to her and pull her into a hug.
Yeah, you can do that.
You're pushing me into the cobweb wall. Stop! No, there's not enough room for both of us in here.
Yeah, you are technically sharing a space right now. If we drew a map, there'd only be one 5-foot square. You'd both be in, so it'd be very tight, very close. As you're having a hug, and you figure, well, you can't see it because it's through the wall, but someone starts getting up and moving around, and you just walk past and go,
Holy moly!
Oh,
Nice
big-
priority with the grade of 16.
Oh,
Whoa.
Oh
It
my,
says
hello.
28 on my screen. So
What?
A lot of people to disappoint.
Oh,
welcome to the party. We're glad you're here.
yeah. Well,
Do a
you
better
just
song than that, Rebecca. There's
That is
16
that is
people.
the
Theme
song. That is the
Yep.
song.
it's a
We're
good
gonna
song.
go.
We've
We're
agreed
going with the
upon
song.
time.
well, you just walked in on two lesbians hugging it out in what we have named the moist curtain. That sounds so wrong.
Moist cobwebs. That's my take on it.
Okay.
But anyhow,
God.
as I was saying, as you're having your hug and resolving you aren't resolving anything. You're just going like,
No,
please
really
don't kill
not.
my friend. I don't know. I kind of have to. You can't see what's going on because it's a dark, shadowy curtain of moistness.
With the whispers coming out of it occasionally. Right.
Yeah,
Whispers.
but eventually you just hear someone go, I don't remember that. Oh, look, a bird. I'll make breakfast.
Oh, Gen 3.
All right.
Um,
Come.
if anybody, if there's anything else you want to add to your scene, feel free to. If not, we can crack on. Morning time. How long does the wall last?
Concentration plus 1 round per level.
Okay,
Lisa's
yeah.
gonna make that wall go for as long as she can because she's having emotions right now. Those are not fun.
Yeah, not too much longer. When the wall fades away for poetic reasons, let's say the sun rises as it does so. So as your shadowy curtain of self-hatred
Yeah.
evaporates, the sun pierces through the skies, and you go, it's a new day. Let's all forget that we watched an entire city get literally cannonballed to death by a flying fortress. But I got my friends back. Nice.
I lost my shop. Oh.
So, everybody else, you may wake up when you want to wake up. You may do what you want to do. You're back in your safe haven of your small clearing you made. There's a big giant statue to somebody who died.
Just somebody.
Well, your friend.
Some
And
actual-
you have 10 children just running around.
Oh God.
I don't know what children do. They're doing well. Actually, they're not very childlike.
Okay.
So,
Oh, imagine what kid was like when he was that age.
so logically, I would assume they'd wake up and do morning drills.
Probably.
So when the
Or
rest of
no.
you wake up, you just see 10 children doing like push-ups and sit-ups and
As they're doing it, Keldor is walking by and with his staff perfecting their form and being like, here, do this. It's easier this way and will be better for you.
I'm glad Keldor's on the boat of child soldiers.
Well, the way he
We-
sees it is these kids are not going to be able to be normal kids, and he'd rather keep them alive.
Mm-hmm.
I feel I should just quickly point out we here at no use of child soldiers, but that's what's happening. So
We're not
okay.
using them as child soldiers. They're just training themselves.
I mean,
And
speak for
Keldor's
yourself,
helping
all
him.
right?
That's how like every warlord in Africa has said.
Oh no,
Hey,
most of them are
They
like,
want to do it.
All right. First thing kid does after getting his spells for the morning is he's going to take some of the wood that the kids collected,
Mhm.
and right at the base of Prim's memorial, he's going to set up a small funeral pyre for Sugar,
Oh.
and he
Are you gonna
is
burn
going
the
to.
little bat totem as almost like a small remembrance thing, or are you
I
keeping
picked
that?
up Sugar's physical body.
Oh yeah, you did. You've been
So,
carrying around a dead bat.
Yeah, I'm going to cremate him. He was killed by a death effect, so there's no bringing him back with what we have currently.
All right.
So
This
That's-
episode's
basically,
feels are just like up and down today.
Yeah.
is going to place Sugar's body into a small stone bowl so that he can collect the ashes afterwards. And what he does is he actually takes a spare potion bottle and puts the ashes inside of it. He takes a string, just from his own clothing that he pulls out and weaves a little bit together, and he puts it around his neck.
All right. That's a hell of a way to start the morning.
Then he's going to say, okay, everyone, I've learned a new spell, but it does have one stipulation. I'm going to call it out whenever I do it, and I'm going to say you need to believe this is real, no matter what it looks like, if you want it to have its full effect. Is that understood? Because I'm about to demonstrate.
You're talking to all of us or just the kids?
I'm talking to all of y'all, since I'm not
Oh.
sending
Yeah.
the kids out to fight just yet.
Keldor cocks his head and is like, why would I need to believe it to be real to make it real?
Basically, if someone is able to see through the fact that this is an illusion, then it will not work for them. So what I need you guys to do is I need you guys to wholeheartedly believe that this is real. And because I have just figured out our solution to walls, besides flying. Is everyone ready?
Yeah. The NPCs look suspicious but they're like, okay.
All right. Kid is going to cast Shadow Conjuration. And he's going to Shadow Conjurate the spell Wall of Grasping Hands onto the nearest tree, which instantly causes hundreds of hands to emerge from the trees.
Oh.
And he says, now, if you climb this, the hands will help you.
I don't want to believe that's real.
No, that's the
Listen.
opposite of what I know.
Keldor walks
My
up to
stuff
it
is.
and then pokes it.
Do you think it's real? I mean, if you want, you can make a will save against it, but
Keldor kind of looks at it and is like, he like grabs one of the hands and it's like, it feels real enough.
the palms are a little sweaty.
I can't tell. I have fur on my palm.
That's good. Wait, Keldor doesn't have toe beans or anything?
Well, the toe beans would be on the ends of his feet.
Okay.
I mean, there's like the palm bean.
Okay.
That's only on creatures that don't have it.
I don't know how that works with opposable thumbs.
Does Keldor have legit human hands? I never stopped to consider how unsettling
Is
that is.
Keldor like the new Sonic? Just an abomination?
Oh,
No,
I mean, he is an abomination.
no. Just look at the picture I drew of him. It's
Sorry.
not that terrible.
He has
No.
human hands.
Your
So what?
artwork is
Yeah.
actually good.
He has furry human hands with
Anyway,
giant
though.
claws.
Anyway, Kid's going to just like back up against the tree a little bit and allow the hands to pull him upwards.
See, Mateus is going to look at this and he's like, you sure there's literally no other spell? Yeah.
Oh,
Is
the
that
good thing
like-
about this spell, I say, as I am being lifted and also turned in circles, is that I can actually use it to create a lot of different spells.
Oh no, I understand how the spell, but I was meaning specifically to deal with walls. Like, isn't there? Well, I do it quite a lot. I've used it once or twice. I can make like an invisible floating disc. Isn't it just a way to make like a better one that can go up and down?
I fail to see how that works because that only benefits one person, while this could technically benefit anybody.
I think that I've known that to hold like a good amount, you know, a lot of weight. Couldn't you like just do that?
I'm going to look up at the hands. No.
Keldor is also spinning in the air beside Kid at this point.
You're just being grabbed by hands and moved.
And Keldor
Down
just kind of like has his hands behind his head and is like, this ain't too bad. As I get
Effectively,
turned
the way it
upside
works is it
down.
grants a +10 bonus on to climb checks.
Hmm.
but for flavor, they're just allowing it to be small right now.
Another option. Isn't there like a spell in which you just open a doorway and teleport like somewhere around like 400 feet? You know, just like stepping through a dimension. Couldn't you have just done that? Can you do that?
Not with Shadow Conjuration.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Cool.
Nope, Shadow Conjuration only makes fun things happen.
So you can't make like, I don't know, a shadow ladder?
Huh. No, I'll get back to you on that.
Can you make a shadow curtain? Because I can, and I don't.
No one
A
wants to
shadow
talk
curtain?
about your moist curtain.
Oh,
That
speaking of
sounds
moist,
really
Crazy
weird out of
laughter.
context.
speaking of moist shadow stuff, I actually have a new spell called Shadow Well.
Oh.
That I don't know. I kind of want to test it out because I have this idea in my head on how it wants to work, but I need a willing subject.
Keldor
Well,
is like,
I like self punishment, so
go
Oh,
for
good.
it. Keldor says as he's like spinning it in the air.
Okay.
This is too.
Kid is going. God. Kid is going to cast Shadow Well. What this does, Greg, is that your shadow instantly grows arms very similar to the ones from the tree, which immediately pulls you down into your own shadow.
Ah. Oh.
oh, I was gonna be like, oh, that's, and then I just disappeared into my shadow.
Keldor is
Yeah,
like
basically-
looking at it and like, she gonna come back out of there, right?
Greg is gone, right? Through in her shadow?
I'm not sure how the spell works, honestly.
Oots what screeches. You bring her back right now. Oh my goodness, sweet. I'm gonna
I mean, I designed it to where she can get out as soon as she realizes that it's not real.
So, mechanically, how does that work? Just so Greg knows what they can
Okay.
do.
You cause the target's shadow to become a temporary gateway to the pocket realm within the plane of shadow. The target must make a will save or be pulled into the gateway, and inside the pocket realm, the creature sees a deserted, gloomy duplicate of the real world, while shadowy phantasms stalk and taunt it without causing actual harm. Each round, the creature can attempt another will save to return from the shadow well. Otherwise, the subject returns to the real world when the spell's duration ends, which is 1 round per level, so 7 rounds. It can be terrifying. Upon returning to the real world, the subject must succeed on either a will save or be frightened for 1d4 rounds.
Okay. So, for 7 rounds, which is approximately 42 seconds, you just are gone. You see, you're in this other worldly dimension. You see a deserted world in front of you, and there's spooky, shadowy phantasms. You know what? For flavor, one resembles a small gnome with a bullet hole in his head, just kind of going, "Hey."
Yep. All right. This is happening.
Yeah, it is. And you know it's like your own fault, right?
I mean, yeah, I killed you intentionally. I've come to
No,
terms
I
with
don't.
that rather quickly.
I don't mean that. I mean that entire city falling apart. Yeah, if you hadn't have kicked up such a fuss and run amok, and let's face it, if you hadn't have shot that guy's dick off, like dozens, if not hundreds, of people wouldn't have their homes destroyed and have lost everything. That is 100% your fault. No one else's. You pissed him off.
Yeah.
You cool with that on your conscience? Hundreds upon hundreds of
That's what
people.
you don't realize about me, Quailin, is I don't give a shit. I don't. I've had everything taken away from me multiple times. I do not care. I could have killed you in front of your small children and then strangled them with your intestines and just slept like a goddamn baby.
Maybe it's because you're like this why you lose everything.
No, I'm pretty sure it happens because other people kill the ones I love. Pretty
Maybe
sure
you
that has
deserved
nothing
it.
to do with me. Maybe I fucking do. But you know what else? I'm fine with that. Because life is a living fucking nightmare.
It is.
And I'm just going with it.
Never stop to think maybe you're the nightmare. Maybe it's your fault.
I know it's my fault. I beat myself up every day. I let people shoot me for fun.
You're really hard to scare and make question things.
That's because I'm the nightmare, Quaylen. I'm the thing that goes boo.
The shadowy figure just kind of like goes. It just shakes off the Quaylen form, and it's just like this disgusting, large, eldritch, unformed shadow, and it just kind of shrugs and vanishes away.
Yeah, that's right. You fuck off.
You're
I've had
42
enough of this
seconds.
shit.
All the other
Yo.
ones just sit there and start screaming. Moist, 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 moist.
Oh god.
Moist, moist, moist.
I like that one. That one works.
Oh.
Your 42 seconds end. You get released. You come out. You make your will save to not be scared or frightened. Sorry, by whatever that just was.
Pick the save.
Please make the
Alright.
save, otherwise this will
Let's-
have been all for naught.
Alright, let's find out.
Is
Okay.
that
DC, you got a beat. Is 17. So no, you're frightened.
Oh, so much voice. Oh, it was awful.
Well,
Oh god.
It was clinging to you like, where did you go?
The way they enunciated. Oh, it was just the worst.
Well, I
I
guess that works.
feel dirty. I feel like I'll never be clean.
Honestly, that was precisely what I was going for.
And here I was hoping that Greg was a sane person.
Nobody's sane here.
Yeah, no one knows that happened. You
I
still
mean, you
think
say
she's
that,
sane?
God.
Hmm.
See, how long does the wall
I know
of
she
hands
is.
last? I have to
Keldor
remember.
thinks everyone's sane except for Relithor.
And Relithor has his moments.
We have to be
Yeah.
nice to Relithor because between all of us, he's the only one who can actually no. Eliza can res people now, can't she?
Level 9 cleric?
Yeah.
10.
Mm,
No,
Mhm.
NPCs are one level below us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're not. The NPCs aren't as good as you, but she's not quite that. Things happened.
Ah, interesting.
Well, in that case, Relithor's the only one who can res people out of our party.
Yeah.
I love Relithor. Greg is nice to Relithor, so like, I mean, I'm good.
Keldor
It's
wants to
bad.
find the magic that cures madness.
Uthra has aggression dwarf syndrome, like doesn't like other dwarves around the party. Like, no, so I'm the only dwarf here. I'm kidding, but it could happen. Who knows?
All right. So you've all seen what Kid can do. He can make hands come out of trees, and
I don't even need any material components because if I had used grasping wall just as a regular spell, I would have needed a handful of fingernails for that.
Yeah.
Whether or not you have to have them like separate from the hands, or if you can just cast it and your fingernails are sacrificed.
I mean,
Uh,
after all this finishes, Genfrey just kind of pops up and he goes, "I made breakfast. People want it."
yay!
Oh, did you cook that bird?
How did you know?
Oh, you know that weird thing that looked like a moist curtain?
Is that an innuendo? Because if it is, I don't get it. But yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
No, that wasn't you. That you.
You can
I
turn
mean,
into a moist curtain.
I mean, I could say many things about my moist curtains, but like, I feel like that's also inappropriate.
It's
I
what
feel like
summons it
there is a
again.
subtext here that I'm not understanding.
I know, I'm pretty sure it's main text at this point.
Greg,
Yeah.
there are children here.
They've seen enough shit. They're fine.
They haven't seen any of that.
It's what summons the wall of gloom again and just sits in the corner around herself. It's like, oh, this is a bad day.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh, okay, that's what that is. I still don't understand any of the things you were trying to say. Sorry.
I think it's best you don't.
Come here and step in it. Yeah.
I think Ursula wants you to go inside her moist curtains.
Yeah, She asks for that a lot, and I just go inside.
Gen 3. I need you to come here for a second.
Okay.
I'm going to grab him by the ear. I'm going to give him a little bit of the paper I saved and some ink, and he is going to write me a 5-page essay on what not to say in front of children.
I don't even know what I said.
Maybe it's
But I know
time you
lots
should
of
figure
things
it
that you
out.
shouldn't say in front of children. Yeah.
Okay, cool. The Dark Bat will be the one to judge this entire thing. Dark Bat, can you read?
They just kind of look at you and go like, "What? What's a reed? Is that a weapon?"
Okay. So what's going to happen is that you are going to write this in a way that the Dark Bat will understand.
I mean, if you
Some
like,
pictures.
I'm actually surprisingly like smart and capable, and with it, if you think these children need an education, I'll happily like take up the teaching role, and you can even teach them, maybe bits of magic.
Fine. I want every one of them to know Mage Hand by the end of the day, unless they choose not to learn transmutation magic.
I can make that happen.
Do it.
I got nothing else going on, and I'm somewhat certain that we are probably not stampeding off on another adventure immediately. What with most of our friends being terribly, terribly, terribly injured.
Yeah, we're working on fixing that. Which, by the way, that does beg the question. We can't stay here forever.
Yeah, the
And
giant flying fortress that turned a city to dust might have something to say about that.
yeah, the entire liberation plan is completely out the window unless we can manage to ground that castle.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess given that, we have to be able to get things that can fly. These things are good, but I don't think they'll stand up to it. No, Tad.
Notad is still passed out. He is slumped against the statue, just like sat up, just passed out.
You know that old phrase, "Don't wake a sleeping dragon"?
Yeah.
Well, kid's never heard that phrase, so he's going to walk up, and he's going to get to Notad, and if he's slumped on the tree, kid's going to take his foot and just push.
He was slumped against the statue of Prim, so...
Oh. Well, in that case, he was sitting there presiding over the entirety of Sugar's funeral?
Yeah, he's been sat there asleep the entire time.
Okay, he's getting pushed to the ground.
Yeah, just slump. He's still asleep.
Get up!
French snoring.
Listener. Listener.
Listener. Listener.
Accurate.
Alrighty. What would be the best course of action? I'm going to assume that you aren't actively paying attention to your spell resistance, and you've got less than 100 hit points right now.
These
Let's
are
go
reasonable
ahead.
assumptions.
Okay. Eliza,
Okay, yeah.
I've got someone over here who's got a disease, sleepy bitch disease. Can you possibly come cure him?
Yeah, probably. I mean,
All right.
usually what I used to do when I worked with all the I just cook them a nice breakfast, but quite frankly, that never usually worked. I think what would really work is, Genfrey, do you mind if I borrow your wee little your cooking thing is? Aye, grand, wonderful.
Oh,
So
no.
we're gonna get this frying pan, and we're gonna get this other pan, and I'm just gonna slap him in the head with them.
Sounds okay. Go for it.
Thwack, thwack. Notad develops 2 small lumps on the side of his head, and opens his one eye, and he's like, "Yeah, hello? Es ¿Cómo? Pardon? Leon? Hello? comment ça va? Je suis the forgotten all of my French.
That's
Every
fine.
word of
Google
it just
Translate it
vanished.
first.
Yeah. He basically just starts rambling on in French, obviously, which is the version of Draconic in this world. He's basically just mumbling, going, I am very confused. Where am I? What's going on? Who are you? What? Why does my face hurt? Where am I?
Kid just immediately says, Je suis one que tu te leves. Probably butchering the entire accent, but Kid's never been totally
Vaco
educated in it.
translates. He says
I
that.
need you to get up. He
Said
also
this
adds
old
the
guy.
phrase, "You
He
pile of
wants
shit."
he wants to be buried alive, and then left in a shallow grave.
A new station alert has arrived.
Wait, what?
Well,
Okay.
as we know, that's just the voice of the world telling us something's happening.
I was about to say
Yeah.
that wasn't mine.
Sorry.
So, hang on. Vaco, who are you saying wants to be buried alive?
Notad. In a shallow grave.
Jesus Christ.
Dark sorcerer.
Yeah.
Well, he never really liked Notad from the start.
That's true.
Oh.
No.
And Kid's grown to hate him.
Notad just kind of sits up, adjusts himself, and goes, okay. I see we are not in the prison. This is the thing. This is good. Where is Primrose? I cannot see them.
Look up.
Why is Primrose big and made of stone? Did somebody cast enlarge and then you came across like a Medusa? Are we going to try and fix them or?
No, Primrose is the god of nature now.
Okay.
Here's what I need from you.
Oui.
We're going to the Society of Dragons.
Good. I am going to go back to the prison tower. Okay.
No, you're not doing that. I need you to tell us exactly what your beef is with the lady who gave me this mark.
Oh.
And exactly
I-
how we're going to talk to her.
D'accord. So, that lady, that woman who gave you the, she is, I know her quite well. She is, her name is Kimria. Or Kim. She likes to be called Kim. She is kind of maybe my sister, but there's a whole weird thing with dragons. You know, we all have different colors and different this and different that. Instead of it's a whole thing. I believe they mentioned someone someone called Lathania, who's like a big deal. That's mommy, maman. She is dead, but not. That's what the society is. It is kind of like a big deal to keep my not dead mom around. I ran away because that is scary and too big for me.
Okay. So here's what's going to happen. Last time that we saw them, they came looking for you.
That would make sense. Yeah, they probably want me to do some things somewhere, probably.
Okay. Because we're going back and you're going to talk to each and every one of them, sort this out, and then we're going to convince them to help us take down that stupid flying fortress. Because at the moment, I'm holding you accountable for essentially all of this. Because
Specifically,
when specifically you, because when I sent you with everyone here, it was so that you could protect them. You are by far the strongest person in this clearing. The whole lot of us combined could probably not take you down at full strength.
I mean, this is not an excuse because you are raising very valid points and you have every right to have these feelings. But my powers, you are under the assumption that this is false. That what I am currently am this is the lie, and I am really the big thing.
Are you not a dragon at all times?
No, that I should be, but the society, they did not like me leaving with all of my powers, so they did some things. Every time I use a itty bitty fraction of it, they know more. They know where to find me. They know I am getting more desperate, and they know I am getting weaker.
They know where to find you.
Oui. So either we move, or they will come and get us. And by get us, I mean probably attack everybody, drag me back up to the mountainside, and do whatever ritual Mother has in store.
We're going back willingly. Because if they're performing rituals, especially if they're keeping a giant undead, right?
She's dead, but not dead. You know, it's kind of like a whole thing. She's like a ghost, but not a ghost. It's weird.
Sounds like clerics.
Kind of.
Do we have anybody who can help out what's going on here? I point to Duraterra's missing limbs, Unst's arms that aren't working anymore.
Oui. There is a whole thing up there, quite frankly. That is probably one of the they will take me back. There's like a whole thing. It's like a big. Do you remember when we went to Scarfell and we had those lovely baths?
Mm-hmm.
There's one of them, but nicer and bigger and more fancy, and it removes all problems. It has given sight to the blind. It has grown foot back. It helped me recover when somebody cut off my head. It can do all kinds of wonderful things.
Okay. And how do you think they would feel about that Sorcerer King? Harming you or any of their own?
He is on the to kill list, but so far they have kept each other out of the way.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. We're going, and if we have to drag you there, we absolutely will.
Well, those escapades from yesterday, which I'm now suddenly remembering, you will have to physically drag me or put me on the back of something, as I I currently have a strength modifier of 0. I cannot move.
Sounds good. We're gonna strap you to the owlbear.
Okay.
All right. Everyone get ready, because they're gonna either find us or we find them first. I'd like us to find them first. Gen3. God. I don't know. I trust him to watch over the kids more than anybody else. But they need to stay out of the war zone.
Send them back to the keep.
Yeah, Genfrey. Genfrey probably is. If you were sending them with one single person, Genfrey would probably be your best bet because he has magic. You know, he can create. He has lots of protective spells. He has rope trick to hide people with if need be. You know, he can create walls of ice, illusionary walls, and terrain. Genfrey is probably like your safest bet.
Mhm.
to protect anybody on his own.
Okay. Gen 3, I'm entrusting all of these kids to you. Darkbat's in charge, but I need you to get all of them safely to the keep. It's a fair distance, and you'll have to
alright.
walk most of the way there.
Yeah, I can do that. Shouldn't be a problem. Who's gonna cook your food while I'm gone?
Keldor walks up behind him and says, "You taught me a lot. I think I can keep
But
them
Vaco's better.
alive."
All right. Well, just make sure you don't like if there's any green in the meat, don't touch it, and just don't use it. And yeah,
Keldor
don't.
raises an eyebrow and is like,
I mean, just don't forget about me, I guess.
"Why would we forget about you? You're the one who's kept us alive most this way."
I don't know. I've got some really bad self-esteem issues.
Well, a bunch of kids aged 4 to 14 will probably only make that better for you.
I see no flaws with that plan.
Does anybody have a final note to finish off? Because we have overrun. We need to wrap up pretty soon. Well, about 5 minutes ago. So, anybody have any final thing to say on what's going on right now, or quickly do the wrap up?
Thank you, everyone. We've been Tales from the Kingdom of Fife.
There we go. Thank you very much. Welcome to Party. Wonderful place. Join all the stuff, like all the things, click all the buttons. Discord information down below. You can find Welcome to Party over on Twitter at Welcome Party RPG, Twitch, which is here, which is twitch.tv/Welcome Party RPG, over on YouTube, youtube.com/Welcome to Party, and patreon.com/Welcome Party RPG. There is our wonderful, wonderful sponsors, which is Tabletop Loot, Devin Rue of RueInc.com, and So Nerdware, and they're all great stuff. Go check them out. It's amazing. I have been the Bardic Knock, your dungeon master for this evening. You can find me on various places on the internet, such as Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube, all under the name The Bardic Knock. It's very easy. I'm literally the only person with any of those names on any of those platforms. So you can find me surprisingly easily to make my numbers go higher. Wonderful, wonderful players who have things to shout about and tell us more, such as Archer. Archer, you have things you make and sell and do on the internet. What are they?
Yes, I do. I do beadwork, hair clips, keychains, basically almost anything you could want. I can make it. It's pretty fun. My Etsy page is Archer's Beadsmithy, and I can let me pull up the link for that, as you do. And if you use the link I put in chat, it is 10% off anything in my shop. But yeah.
Alrighty, wonderful, wonderful stuff. Cody, you have artists you'd like to tell us about. Who are those artists?
The artists are Mikun19 on DeviantArt.com, who has the most recent version of Kid the Dark Horse's appearance. And for his original picture, you'll need to go to ThomasJB on Twitter.com.
And Rebecca, you have your DeviantArt, where because you have done a lot of the artwork for us, but you've done the nice little headshots of people. So where would we find the artwork that you do on the internet?
You're muted.
No, I'm not. I'm under DeviantArt as well. Lundana, Lundana.
And finally, Shan. Shan, how do I give you money over the internet?
For the sake of expediency, because we are over time, just go to my Twitter at Channellogic, and you can find links to my shop, the fundraiser I'm doing for my friend, and all the ways you can give me money.
Alrighty, wonderful stuff. We are going to go raid somebody. I don't know who's on. Who's on? Castle Mac is on apparently. Yeah, so let's go raid them. No. Pooh. Come on. Speedy typing. Slash. Raid. Castle. That's not how you spell castle. No, castles with an L, not a K. Castle. Mac. Castle.
Caskell.
Okay. We're going to go raid Castle Mac. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Until I put a hashtag, not slash, didn't I? Piece of...
Brilliant.
Raid. Castle. Mac. Stupid thumbs. There. Now it's going. Alrighty. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Being Tales from Fife. Until next time, stay safe and happy adventuring.
Bye.